are back with the pre-game kickoff of the 2023 Kookaburra Bowl. Just seen the Rebels cross the field, waiting for the Ducks to come out of the tunnel and look at what's going on. For those of you who didn't get to see earlier, the NSW Raiders women's team won 18-14 against the Northern Sydney Rebels. An incredibly close game on and off the field. So they were close competitors all year, and they're continued that out onto the field. See the teams clearing the room there. Head coach Lachlan Bignell is a player who's come up through the ranks. He's now taking charge of the team in which he was once a quarterback. Peans had an undefeated season, rolling into the finals in first seed. Northern Sydney Rebels have won and lost some games, winning a league favourite game against the University of Sydney Lions Cubs earlier in the year to put them in this position to be successful. My commentary compatriot is Mr. Adam Blue, and while he is a Northern Sydney Rebels player, he will do everything he can to be as unbiased as possible. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mitch. Great to be here.
You can see on the screen here, just looking at some replays in the grand final as to how the Ducks played across the board, beating UTS and creating some defensive stands and things here. The Ducks have been a dominant force in the league this year. So, Adam, what are your predictions? I know you're a favourite of the Rebels, so I'm not going to ask you to pick a team, but what do you think will happen in the game?
Yeah, look, Ducks are a pretty polished team, so it's on the Rebels to play their best game of football today, and yeah, leave it up to the football gods, I think. Football
gods are definitely a fickle creation in themselves. I think we've all prayed to them once or twice, and I don't know whether they ever answer or they just hear your prayers and taunt you. But I was talking about coaches wearing sunglasses in the previous game, and it's to hide the tears. So, hopefully I'm not the only one to do that. It was a pretty well officiated game, last game. I think we'll look to continue that. We've got a white hat coming in, Mr. Brian Harwood, another league stalwart. Plenty of people on and off the field. You can see the coaches going through. Lockie Bignell actually took over the reins in a roundabout way from his dad, Greg, and the last time that they were in a grand final, they actually lost to UTS. Of all teams, so it was a close game. I think 28-24, but a convincing win. Lockie was actually hurt in that game, and then played hurt. And you can see here, Rebels are fairly convincing. They have some incredibly dominant players that they've been working with, including Caden Faison, who is Oren's son. Oren being the head coach of the Northern Sydney Rebels, and some other stout defensive players, including a really strong defensive presence and some senior players that have come in from the Wolverine State program. So never scared to jump up for a ball that's uncontested, number one, but I'll look forward to seeing what he can do in this game. Captains are now clearing the bench, heading towards the centre of the field for the coin toss. Showing a defensive play by the Rebels there from the grand semi-final last weekend. You can see on the screen there Oren, who led his team to this. I think this will be the Rebels' first appearance from a Colts team in a grand final. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. The boys have tried hard over the years and managed to make finals on several occasions, but never to the bowl game. So, yeah, really exciting day for the club to have two teams in the big dance, and hopefully the boys can put on a good performance today.
I'm sure they're going to go after it. What is there anyone that you think we should watch for on the Rebels team?
Yeah, I think linebacker Zach Millard, number 19. He's a player that came up through our junior system through Manly Redbacks and has filtered through to the Colts program. And you'll also see him playing at tight end today as well, so keep an eye on Ryan.
There you go. What type of offense are the Rebels running? Is it pass heavy, run heavy? What are we looking at? What should we expect?
Yeah, I think just with the quarterback that they have, they're more an air raid offense and look to pass the ball. But you know they've got some athletes across the park. They'll look to run it as well. So yeah, it's just up to Coach O and what he decides to go with today's scheme wise.
I think he definitely gives Caden, the QB, a lot of leeway to make decisions and do what he needs to do to be able to be a dynamic playmaker, which is what he's proven to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're seeing in warm-ups as well, Caden's out there and he's commanding his players where to be and what to do, and it's almost like a captain coach out there with the boys with the preparation.
So the Rebels won the toss and have elected to defer, which means the Ducks have chosen to receive. Kickoff will be from here with the ends shown. I think one of the things I've seen specifically around the Ducks team is that there's a lot of individual onus placed on wanting to be there and trying to get after it. Really solid coach in Lockie. I've coached him at a couple of different state levels. To see the transformation that he's put this team through from being less competitive last year with a really young team to really being able to pull people together and pursue it up into a final is incredibly exciting. I think he knows what he does well. I think they're quite a large side as well. I expect heat to play a factor in this as you start to go through. Rebels are a little bit of a smaller side. You've got some guys going both ways. They're stretched pretty hard to be performing where they need to. I think player for player, Rebels are incredibly competitive. I'm conscious of in the temperature and the heat that we're seeing today, that it may start to lead to mistakes possibly in the third and fourth quarter that we wouldn't normally expect to see if the weather was a bit more forgiving or if they had a few more players. But we've seen smaller teams beat bigger teams consistently over the league history, so I'm sure it's going to be up for debate. Special teams will play a really important part in the way in which the positioning of the field exists, knowing that if they're pinning them down within their own 20 or 10 yard line, it's incredibly hard for the team to drive the field. There's advantages to doing so. So looking at who's kicking off and where they're going to be. Number 3 for the Rebels is known for an absolutely booming kick. He's kicked it out of the end zone several times here. Or number 13, sorry. Yeah, number 13. Plays both ways. He's a dynamic running back, and you can see here they're wanting to bring it out and fumbled. Trying to bring it back. This is an incredibly important place. Broken play, being able to run upfield, getting to the sideline, cutting around the corner, trips over his own feet. Back to the 34-yard line, 21-yard line. They've spotted him out, or 26-yard line. That's a huge play, significantly better than putting yourself in a position where you're coming out from the 20 or from the spot of the foul. Sometimes your feet be like that, right?
Yeah, I've had a few trips in my time.
Ducks are out. Flag to start the play. There was an illegal motion by number 36. So when you see motions on the field,
false start. Number 98 of the offense. There'll be a
called it a
5-yard
false start.
penalty. Remains first down.
Motions can only go parallel to the line of scrimmage or backwards. What you saw on that one was that he was actually running upfield at the snap of the ball. So you can't have an unfair distance advantage or speed advantage. Trips to the boundary side, looking at what they're going to try and do the wide side. Identifying number 13 is going to be critical for the defence here. We're getting a false start again by number 36. Two mistakes in a row by the Ducks, which is unlikely for them. Sometimes the big games do this to people. You know, they get a little bit nervous, trying to settle it down. Adding motions and things in the first couple of plays isn't necessarily the best choice for some of the more junior teams that haven't been at this level before.
Yeah, I think it's just about trying to iron out those early jitters and get that out of the way in the first series, and then just focus on playing football for these boys today.
I think one of the things that you want to try and get your players to is a point of serendipity around just understanding this isn't any different to any other game they've played, and you really just want them to focus on that. I think it's going to be 15 yards of penalties. Looks like we've got a false start again.
Yeah, not an ideal start to the game for the Ducks, but
yeah,
you touched on it before, Mitch, with this weather. It's about keeping your composure and not giving away any easy yards today. And yeah, the Rebels being lower on numbers are definitely going to have to stick to that.
It's they're doing a good job at the moment. They're back. It's 1st and 25, and the Rebels haven't had to make a play yet. So it will be interesting to see what it looks like from a point of view of the Ducks and how they go through this. It's run to the outside, miss, dodge, great cutback. Again, it's a 5-yard gain. It would be really good in that space if we're now on what I'd consider is 2nd and 21. We'll expect them to put a pass in through here to try and get out of this situation. I think that's the only way that we're going to be able to see them return, or a big busted run play. We saw it previously that the Ducks do have the ability to throw the ball and can get deep when required. So that's also the same with Rebels. So there's never a point in this game where you think that you can count any one of them out. Their momentum's incredibly important, and the teams are here to win. Rebels are out in a too high safety look, which means they're preparing for a pass in some way. Gapped out on the inside, got an motion, and then kicking out to a jet sweep, cutting upfield. They're coming down aggressively, breaking a couple of tackles, turning a corner, huge run here down the sideline, treading the line and taken out of bounds, and it's just that quick. From 2nd and 21 to 1st and 10 at midfield, a motion with a toss attached to it really just allows them to bust open this vertical. A couple of missed tackles there from the Rebels, which was unexpected. They're normally pretty disciplined on this. Broken a tackle there, broken another up, starting to cut upfield. He breaks through another. If number 13 there really showing both speed and tenacity around getting after the ball in this case. Trips to the boundary. We've got a bit of a motion now. This is where they made a mistake on previously. They're just going to hang out. Given zone read, this is a wide side of the field, open, coming downhill to try and make a tackle, broken 1 and 2, gang tackle moving forward and still breaking. It's what appears to be a 6-yard gain from the motion and the run there. Timeout to the Rebels, called by the Rebels. What do you think Oren's saying over in the huddle there?
I think he just wants to have a word to his guys and just tell them to stick to their fundamental football. You mentioned it before, leading into these bowl games, sometimes you think you've got to do something different to what led you here in the first place. I think you just got to continue to play the style of football that you know and you've played all season. For these boys, I think it's just, hey, let's play contain, let's keep the play in the middle. It is a hot day, we don't want to be running sideline to sideline. And just getting a little bit of composure back with those guys and just to reset.
I think that's true. After 1 or 2 big plays, it's really important that you don't get the defence sort of falling on its heels and trying to catch up. They've all chased down, a 22-yard run, so that's all good. Speak of a legend, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Andrew Brundu in the box, who will be coaching in a game later, but is also contributing in a heap of different ways to GNSW by running around on the field, organising the location, doing everything we need him to do. So just a little thank you to Andrew Brundu in his contribution to the grand final today. He's helping us with team sheets so we can say players' numbers and names instead of just numbers at the moment. So we're working through some technical difficulties. Botch, snap, recovered by the running back, fumbled again.
And recovered by number 30, Ryan of the Rebels.
Huge change based on mental mistakes in this kind of heat, and the Ducks are showing that space early. It's something that some teams do practice, is what to do if they have fumbled and how to recover that. This is a huge momentum shift for the Rebels off the back of the game. Some I guess junior mistakes from both the QB and the running back there on what their roles are if there is a fumble to occur. First time seeing the Rebels offense. See a big back in him, number 13 down in the slot. Caden out, pass bubbled from the ground, just all hitches. A really nice, easy completion early on. Not a lot of pressure on Caden at the moment, so looking to see what he can do. Heat really starting to show the teams already what's really going to make it difficult for them today. Easy completion in the middle of the field, broken tackle by number 1, hustled down by number 25. They're not going to take this laying down, even with a smaller team. I think the Rebels are here to win. It's their first time in a grand final. They have everything to prove. You can see here, Caden taking his time in the pocket, making a nice completion to number 1. Paul
Tong.
Incredibly versatile player for the team there. What appears to be an illegal formation. Brought down short, but there is a flag on the play. Got a false start on the offense. Be a 5-yard penalty.
Matt,
And a repeat of first
Matt.
down. I think it's critical for the Rebels to come
We
in
have an
here
illegal
early, especially with
formation
a smaller
on
side.
offense. 5 men in the
They've got to get some
backfield.
points on
That's
the
a
board
5-yard
to be able to
penalty.
give themselves some space to be able to breathe
First
and
down.
take more control over what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely, and give themselves some confidence as we move forward into the game as well. We know the Ducks are it's pretty uncharacteristic-like for them to start this way. They're a fairly polished side and number 1 for a reason. So, yeah, some early points here for the Rebels will definitely put them in good stead leading into the rest of the game.
Just seeing a nice inside run by Zach here, fighting and tackling and trying to get movement forward. Huge run recovery. We're going to have to take someone off the field. The gentleman without his helmet will be moved. Subbing in another player. Second and short. Looks like they've converted it. Great tackle there. You cannot run with that leg. There's a stunning play by the Ducks to be able to get it in there. Leadership of Caden showing here. Direct handoff, boot, miscommunication, but running, able to go through.
He's going to get to the end zone.
Bit of bumbling and stumbling there. One of the things for people to be aware of is as long as they cross the plane of the line there to the goal line, you don't need to carry the possession after that. So you can see here as he runs around, gets past and then puts up and over. He was in possession at the time of breaking the line of scrimmage, so it's incredibly important that still counts. Going for 2 now, as most of the teams in our Colts League do. It's a quick slant to the outside, some speed, well overthrown unfortunately, a bit of pressure in his face. It's not often you see the double quick outs there that you do see in the goal line. It's designed to prevent the defence from playing really strong inside mid coverage. I'm sure we'll expect a job there. I can't imagine the Ducks leaving that touchdown unanswered. I'm looking forward to seeing what they get as a result of this kickoff. One of the problems you do have when you defer and receive the ball, the expectation is that you do score on the first drive, and changing that is incredibly valuable. I think you can even see the heat starting to affect some of the players now being on the field for as long as they are. Looking for another booming kick from 13. He's been critical on both sides of the ball so far and playing special teams. Junior player, and he was a soccer player prior to transitioning over here, hence the big boot. Looking to bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was a dream start there by the Rebels, Mitch, and be interesting to see how the Ducks respond now.
I think it'll be a real momentum shift that they need to be conscious of. The risk that you have with teams when they're back in the finals and they have expectations and the weight of the West on their shoulders is a view that they're going to try and do too much. And I think even watching Lockie on the sidelines there was really trying to simplify it down and just go, guys, this doesn't have to be bigger than anything. We're here for a reason. His O-line's going to stack up, get a motion in place, get a false start again. There's a whole lot of mental mistakes that are occurring in this space at the moment. Trying to jump ahead, trying to catch too many advantages.
Number 98 of the offence. There'll be a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Ducks huddling now, making sure everyone's on the same page. Looking to break the huddle. Twins to the right-hand side of the field. We have a tight end to the left and a wing back. Seeing a motion again now. Clapping, clapping, clapping. Again, another mental mistake.
Yeah, this is really unlike the Ducks. We know they can flick a switch and turn it around quite quickly. They've got some really dynamic players, and we saw it in the last series when they got that first down in that stretch play. But maybe the heat's a little bit of a factor today, Mitch.
I think the heat and the size of the stage, I think a lot of people are around trying to solve problems, and you do see it with finals where a lot of people come out of the woodwork to try and help, and sometimes that isn't always the best thing. I think players get in their heads that they need to do something different because it's a big game, and my experience has been that that's not required. I think based on what they're doing, they're able to execute against it historically without any problems. I think you kind of get a bit of tunnel vision when you're in these positions and you try and make everything work, and when stuff doesn't work, it feels like it's a lot bigger of a deal. I don't think that the team's not capable of executing against it. I think the Rebels are showing an incredible amount of tenacity just in following it. Like, you put the size difference of the squad and how hard they're going to be working. The big problem is you don't win or lose a football game and a half. I think it's whatever they've done, you're able to recover from. But if you're not able to get ahead of the sticks and make good decisions, it starts to become more and more complicated. I think adding motions and timing and all of those things, if guys are tired and hot, that's where the wheels start to come off. So you might start to see just a bit of a return to a more conventional game where they can hand the ball off, get some yards, get downfield, trust that they're capable of doing stuff without any surprises. I think you see that here as well. Number 13 there stifling down that run. But yeah, the view is that it should be without an issue, the way they should be operating. I think you'll see a game plan adjustment to try and move away from running at 13. There's a pretty safe way to just look at don't run towards some of the dominant players in the defence. I think you see that in a lot of places where he comes down unblocked and he's got to be accounted for in the blocking scheme there. You might see that now. They've moved 13 to the wide side of the field, and I think they're going to try and run the other way. Their adjustment has to be that they can't run towards him. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing. He's running 2:13. He's got some speed to the outside though, which is incredibly good.
Yeah, that's a great run by 98 there.
Kobe James Smith by the Ducks. Said he's here to play for everyone from Mount Druitt, so it's always a good thing to be aware of. 3rd and shorter now, which is good. Looking at 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5. I think the view should be, you can see on their defence that they're playing number 13 to the wide side of the field. I expect them to make an adjustment that they're not going to be trying to run towards him anymore. Okay, we've got a motion here, so hopefully we can get this timing right. Cut to the outside, great play, huge inside run, cutting upfield, cutting back across it, tackled with a gain.
Yeah, I think you called it before, Mitch. It's just the Ducks just simplifying their game, keeping it nice and easy, and just rolling what they usually do. And yeah, they're starting to pick up some momentum for that now.
Showing incredible amount of elusiveness for number 98 there. Zebra's conferring on the field, trying to understand what's going on. Expecting Brian Harwood to provide the delivery.
Personal foul. Number 16 of the defence, horse collar. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So we've got a horse collar on the defence. Now, for understanding penalties within football, you have sort of 3 classes generally. You have a mistake by either team that doesn't create an advantage or forces the play to stop dead, which is a 5-yard penalty. You have a mistake that's leading to an advantage to one team or the other, which is a 10-yard penalty, like holding in the line. If you have a safety penalty or something along those lines, that's when you start to get into these 15-yard penalties that extend beyond what you'd normally see. So that's a 15-yard penalty and a new set of downs, which is offsets the 3 small penalties that the Ducks had earlier. But it looks at like total penalty yardage is about even now based on that. Run to the outside again, trying to run back. There's a interesting to see what was blown late here. False start.
Number 75 of the offence. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Still first down. Again, some of those jitters as you start to get in there, the guys are keen to try and play and they're looking at some bigger stuff they need to do. I think after they've had a successful drive, they'll settle down. Just in the preliminary sense, you start to get this, I need to try and do too much. Coaches often talk about just doing your job, and I think that's what the Ducks are going to look to try and heighten as a mantra now. The Rebels' defence is hustling incredibly hard to try and stop these runs and do what they need to do. Unfortunately, they haven't been challenged too much at the moment due to the mental failures of the Ducks. High snap again, looking at what they're trying to do. Throw over to the outside, tackled and contact, but busted free. Tackle made again by number 13. It's incredibly hard to do. Player down on the Rebels sideline here. Interesting to see what happens around. So blitz down on this, hand it off. Don't get a chance to see it. Huge dodge. Great patient pass there, getting it out into the space and not losing any yards. Now number 13, there's a guy who really hustles to the ball. Looks like we've got a shoulder injury down there for one of the D linemen. These type of injuries, especially in a smaller team, can really impact their ability to be successful later into the quarters. Depth is a challenge for a lot of teams, and it really will depend on how quickly he can get back up to speed, if he can at all, to try and bring him off the field and make sure he's ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you come into these games with the lower numbers, a lot of those guys will be playing both ways on offense and defense. So, yeah, you want to keep those big boys healthy up front to give us the best chance.
See a defensive chat happening here at the moment. There hasn't been a lot of passing done by the Ducks. I expect if we can continue to make this run game consistent and effective, that we'll start to see them open up into the passing game.
can see Ryan O'Grady there from the Rebels men's team. We're just having a chat to the boys and just telling them to simplify their game as well. And it's been quite a few missed tackles and given the Ducks opportunities and some easy yards there. So being the team with the lower numbers and playing in this heat today, it's you want to make first contact and then get hats to the ball and yeah, stop as many yards as possible.
You can see this guy come down like with a hit stick on Madden, but unfortunately, when you sometimes lower the shoulder and don't wrap up, you see those complexities in doing so. We can see number 92 there, clearing the field. 32 maybe, 92? No, 92 it is.
92, Leaf.
Cara Leaf. Playing for his girlfriend Latoya. That's the notes from him. So
hopefully we get to see him back out in the park sooner rather than later.
Alright, so we've got 2nd and 15 for the Ducks. It's probably generous, 2nd and 16. With this formation that you're starting to see, knowing that you've got a strong defender to the wide side of the field. Possibly an inside zone run, but you're going out to where the great players are. Trying to turn a corner and get shut down here is got some confusion on the down and distance here. Okay. So we've got 3rd and quite long. Zone back into the inside of the boundary, avoiding the big guys, cut back to the outside, run straight up the middle, broken a tackle. 13 making a tackle again on the defence there.
Another great run there by Harry Watson, 98 of the Ducks.
This will be interesting to see the punting accuracy from the Ducks here. If they can pin them down inside their own 10-yard line, this will be a really strong decision for them. Northern Sydney Rebels have a really strong vertical passing attack and are going to look to try and do it. It's a fake and it's a kick to the back side. Caught on the full, not much coverage down to this side at all. Great tackle by number 43, trying to get out of bounds. Taking 7 down with a swarm of Ducks. Looked like the quack attack. See the decision to possibly run here and changed with the potential to kick a punt. Great hustle by number 43 to be able to try and make a strong play there. .43 being Jaden Wallace. Huge effort to get there after that. Ducks in a 4-down line, trying to start a run to the outside, giving up a bit of contain there. Still a huge run to the outside, 10 yards and a 1st down. Number 9 showing that size isn't a factor in your ability to run the ball. First and 10, and we're looking at another run inside zone. Getting pulled up short this time, but still with a significant gain. Blue, you play linebacker. What are your thoughts in this situation when you're playing something like this, not able to stop the run?
Yeah, it's just about gap integrity, knowing that your D-line are executing their job. As we see a very close miss there by number 13 from the Rebels. He's a real threat on both sides of the ball.
It's unfortunately they do tire out, which will start to show. I think if we're running on too many vertical routes, you're going to start to see those challenges to be able to try and get open. But no, he's incredibly rangy and has the ability to go up and get a ball from height. You can see here there's a lot of trust by Caden to go and get this deep ball, and just lost by a step through the fingers of the defender. Tighter positioning in here, back into single back, trying to stop it. QB keep by Caden himself, enough to get the yards to convert it for a first down. He's been a dominant threat all year at both running the ball as well as passing. It's been incredibly challenging for defenses to try and find a way to answer this problem with vertical threats in the receiving core and running backs that are able to go and get yards after contact. With Caden's ability to also keep the ball, it changes the way defenses have to match up. It's another zone run, getting pushed around. Great coverage by 8. Smaller gain that time, but still 4 yards. The Ducks need to find an answer for maintaining the intensity that the offensive line from the Rebels is playing with at the moment. Making a good cut inside. Number 8 being first in there to make a tackle and try and lock them up. Into empty. Changing it with some motion. The running backs around the outside. Ducks down, but he's going to be able to run. He's got an open angle to go.
You do have a flag on the play though, back at the line of scrimmage.
It's incredibly challenging when you get these big plays and they're undone by technical complications of ineligibility or motions and receivers. No, and that's been waved off, so that play will stand. See here, looking downfield, plenty of pressure, climbing the pocket and then trying to get down. Plays to be made by the Ducks on trying to bring down Caden as he's running out down the field. That'll be the quarter. Low scoring so far in the first quarter of football. A lot of runs on the ground. No desire to take it to the air. I don't know whether the Ducks have played from behind very much in their season. It's a complicated thing to do, especially if you're used to leading going into halves and things, to being able to rally mentally and go, no, we still need to go out there and win. 1 touchdown difference, incredibly close. Momentum's leaning more towards Rebels at the moment, I feel, Blue, without showing favouritism. I think they're asserting their dominance on the field and they've got some really strong leadership with some of their senior players. I think the Ducks are showing a little bit of, I guess, youth in regards to the position that they're in on the field and what they have to be trying to do to win this game. I think there's a couple of mental mistakes, incredibly hard to undo a lot of penalties and put yourself in a better position to win. So new half, new team, or new quarter, new team. Looking at what they're going to be able to do to try and stop this Rebels offense and how they're proceeding.
Yeah, I think the body language says it a bit there as well, Mitch. The Ducks boys just jogged down to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go. They want to hold out the Rebels here and give their offense a chance to put some points on in the second quarter.
Ducks are struggling to contain number 18, Caden. With a bit of discipline and maintaining pressure in the pocket, they wouldn't have the same issues. You're seeing the defensive ends come in and not match up where they need to be. They turn in here, try and come across and aren't chasing on the right angles, and that opens up this lane for Caden to be able to get out and make a pass. And it's a big role to fill when you look at this. You're seeing trips to the field, potential pass play here on what you're seeing. They're getting fades to the outside. Not a particularly great throw. Offensively, the receivers appear to be a little bit lost on what it is that they're trying to do. Caden talking to his wide receivers there, making sure they know where they need to go and what they need to be doing. I don't think Rebels understand that you don't need to be noisy when your offence is on the field, but they're working through that as we go. Inside zone, big run on the inside. They're losing a lot of yardage. The Ducks on just not coming downhill fast enough on the run, and really allowing them to be pushed off the line of scrimmage. You can see here that they get pushed directly. There's not a lot that changes. They're very slow to the line and giving up a lot of distance.
Yeah, and the Rebels are running that inside zone. They're not looking to go outside the tackles. So I think defensive ends are going to squeeze down a little bit and look to play flat and square to the line of scrimmage and set the edge and force the ball down the middle.
I think you're seeing another one again, bounce to the outside. Great tackle by number 8 there, shoestringing him down. Zach's an incredibly proficient runner, number 30. He's doing a really good job of trying to get outside, but you see here they shift a block, get outside, and then make a tackle. Oh, sorry, 19.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on third down, third and goal. Pressure's going to be on here. Boot by Caden, cut back inside, making a tackle. Huge stop. Ducks aren't buying what Caden's selling. See here, a little bit of an inside naked boot. Number 25 staying on, not biting on any of the stuff that's coming out. 2 Ducks defenders down trying to hold that. Fourth down, this is a big stop for what the... Sorry, that was first down, so it's turnover on downs. I'm a little bit behind on that. Yeah,
I've got the Ducks offense out there now.
This is a dangerous position to be in. We saw it with teams earlier around knowing where they are on the field and giving up safeties and giving up points that can't be answered. It's an over-the-top snap. And
spoke it into existence there, Mitch.
It's a problem that teams have when they haven't put themselves in the red zone position before. The high snaps and the jitters get on, and if they're not able to be aware and prepared for that, it's mentally tough to know what's going on. Good decision though to run it out, to be fair, once it's out of bounds. The worst thing that can happen is that the Rebels recover it in that circumstance because it's a 6 points instead of 2 points. Field position playing a bigger role in this now, being in the back and forth of the Rebels. One score game, conversion's important. They're going to drop kick this out from here and see what they can do. Special teams proving to be more and more important in the finals so far. Booming kick down the middle of the field. Recovered and closely. Yeah,
Good stop by the Ducks there.
Yeah.
Way to swarm to the ball and break down and not allow the returner to make too many yards.
The Rebels have been all gas, no brakes up until this point, and I think you're starting to see a little bit of the tempo and confidence falter a small amount, just in regards to the way they're running to the ball and what they're ready to do. Through no fault of their own, this is an incredibly hot day with an intense competition on both sides. Hopefully they can find a way to manage the game and time effectively so they're not putting themselves in a disadvantageous position. Out to the field, got a bunch in here. I think we'll expect a wider run based on the spacing on the field and what it looks like. We're going to see a shot over the top. Huge catch.
Number 1, Paul Tong with the reception.
Real simple play action there. They know they've been really effective on the run. They give a little bit of a look, so it seems like it's not just going to be a pass over the top. A little bit of play action, hand it off, and then just deep shot down the backside. It's that's a challenging throw to make at the best of times, to put it between the numbers and the receiver, the sideline and the receiver, over the shoulder. Great eyes by Paul there to be able to ring that one back in. Tackle made, and I think that's what you're going to start to see here now for the Ducks, is they're keyed in on the run. That does by proxy open up the pass and what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and that might have been a scheme that's designed there by Coach Oren of the Rebels, is to get the Ducks defence to continue to bite downfield and then open up those opportunities over the top with the play action.
Huge sack by number 25 on Caden. Flag on the play, looks like it's holding. Brian conferring with the coaches
Illegal
to
formation
talk about
on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. Result of the play. Second down.
Now, for some teams, the 2nd and 18 will be a problem. I think we've seen already that they can complete deep passes and there's no challenge for them to recover that. Bunch set up, wing back, inside zone run, getting stopped early. Ducks defense really showing up here and trying to make sure that there's nothing left inside.
Yeah, I think their D-line's taken it upon themselves to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's starting to show now with some of these tackles and stops.
3rd and 24. It's sorry, just waiting to see what's happening on the field. 3rd and 24 is a big attempt to try and transition a play over, knowing that you've only got 2 shots to go.
This is 4th down. Penalty got declined.
It's the
4th down.
2-minute warning. I don't know. Confirming time for the viewers back at home. False start.
False start. Number 13 of the offense.
We are on
it's a 5-yard
4th
penalty.
and 29.
Remains 4th down.
Unsure if that was a creative use of a false start to get them in a better position for punting. Normally Caden would be more upset, I feel, if that wasn't a planned thing. So, you know, maybe some wisdom in the coach there, knowing that putting them in a better position to punt is a good thing. Ducks playing a fairly safe defence here, knowing that they're going to have to get out to try and do it. It's a keep. They have to try and tackle him inside.
Wow. Number 13 showing his athletic prowess there, scoring on some broken play. Rebels continuing just to create their own opportunities today, and we've still got plenty of game left.
Two-point conversion is going to be critical. You can see here on the special teams. Looks to punt, fakes, runs out by this defender, second defender, third defender, fourth defender maintaining inbounds and being able to extend the ball across the goal line and get that touchdown in place. Waiting to see where it's been spotted. The conversion is no good. 14-0 to the Sydney Rebels. Incredible job here. I think sometimes showing the slow replay doesn't necessarily help the viewers at home agree or disagree with officials. Here's a great run. You can see it coming through. 1 tackle, 2 tackle, 3 tackle. They just can't catch him with that speed to the outside. Incredible ability to be able to execute against a world defense historically. No game's over until it's over. There's a whole other second half. And the Ducks now have the ball back and are going to go down and try and score. I think they iron out this nervousness and the jitters that they're trying to get through. We're in a really strong position to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I think, let's not forget, the Ducks have got the advantage with the number of players as well in this heat. You know, we expect them to come on very strong in the second half of this game as well.
Booming kick down, fielded well, looking to be run out here. Getting to the sideline.
Return now.
Return to the Rebels for the 6-yard line. The Ducks are now immediately in scoring position to answer back the 2 unanswered scores that they've had so far. Loving to see the athletic kicks and the refs getting the ball over to the sideline. You can watch the replay here. The vision from the running back is incredible as you can come through, breaking 1 tackle and really just finding space to be able to play the game. Muffed snap, thrown to the outside, screen, a little bit of shake and bake to the outside, couple of yards afterwards, running down the sideline, blown dead at a 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain.
And that's Jaden Wallace again, 43 for the Ducks.
Great recovery by the QB and poised to be able to get the screen out to the sideline. Doing an incredible job of creating distance and space there. Rebels defense hustling to it though, no doubt there. Looking at a little bit of a different formation now. We've got a tight end on the line. Might be dangerous as he's boxed in. Double tight, looking to run up. Oh, getting smothered in the middle of the field. Getting a play call in there. Football can be quite a cerebral game when it comes to looking at how things are matched up and what's going on for the different offences and defences. So looking at how they're trying to align to this. They expect a run to the wide side of the field, still challenging this beating number 13, which is a bold move. running up inside and making some extra yards after contact. Looks like that's going to be a first down to move the chains. Incredible poise by number 98 there to run into the teeth of a defender and still know that he's going to get after it.
Yeah, I think this Ducks ground game really relies on 43 and 98, and those guys have proven that already in this game with some great plays.
I think you're going to see a run to the backside here over into the narrow side of the field. Looks like it's going to be set up to do so. Great pass over the top, thrown to the screen, looking to get out. Broken a tackle, coming down the sideline. 13 breaks a tackle as well. Guarding back into the field, into open field, across and touchdown Ducks.
That's a great play by the Ducks there.
Little leak over the back, 2 broken tackles, and that's all that's required for them to get back in the game. You can see here, the leaks up to the side, gets them in space, breaks 1 tackle, shakes off 13, who's been dominant so far, cuts back inside, 1, 2, 3, chasing down. Incredible play to the sidelines there. This looks like what would be called the brotherly shove in the NFL. QB sneak from the 3-yard line, putting the game on the back of the big boys on the offensive line, getting the backs in to push the pile forward. Great play call by Napeen there to get that done. Here you go. Pushing him up and over, up and over, up and over. Offensive line cuts them low and then they keep charging forward. Great poise and play by number 12 here to get the ball into space. Again, you can see 36 really showing his elusiveness there and being able to break through some of the strong Rebels defense and start to get after it.
Yeah, Ben Robinson, 36 for the Ducks, really putting the team on his back there, making a play and getting his team back into this game. There's a lot of time left on the clock, and yeah, with this heat, anything could happen.
I think we'll start to see an increase in mental mistakes here as we start to progress towards what I'd consider exhaustion. There's not many teams where you would see a QB out on kick return, but that's what you're seeing here. I think a couple of niggling injuries and really just a desire to be on the field is really, really important.
Yeah,
seeing a timeout on the Ducks here, it's not often that you see a timeout on a kicking team. The expectation here would be that you may see an attempted onside to try and score again before the half if he believes that he can get his defense or offense in the right position. I think I'd be prepping if I was the Rebels for an onside kick if you're seeing this kind of thing in a grand final. Making sure you're prepped and ready to go is incredibly important, and these are the things coaches think about in the weeks before a game. What do they need to be focused on? What do they need to make sure they've done? You don't get any second chances here. In season, if a game's a draw, it just wraps up as a draw. In the finals, we don't have that option. So there's extra time rules. There's a whole heap of complexity that comes into trying to win within the game versus allowing it to get into overtime, because then it's a bit of a free-for-all in regards to scoring and points. Rebels are back to receive. Ducks look like they're in a normal kicking position. The Rebels have cheated up some of their players to make sure that they're there to field the onside kick. It looks like they've been prepped on what the expectation is here. I'm curious as to what we're going to see. Cheeky little deep kick, messing with them mentally. That's a touchback. Hopefully he makes them right. Oh, he looked like he was going to try and go for it anyway. Pinning him in the 20 yards makes a good decision for them. If they can manage the clock well, they'll still possibly be able to get the ball before the end of the second half and then try and put themselves in a position to take a couple of shots over the top.
Yeah, we've seen how quick momentum can shift in games throughout the season, Mitch, so it's really on the Ducks defence here to get a stop and give their offence a chance to score before the end of the half.
I think there's definitely going to be a bit of a shot of life as well. You can already see the temperament on the sidelines changing from where it was, heads were down, to now looking at it and going, well, this is what's expected.
Absolutely, they got some energy about them now.
It was one of those concerns we touched on early with a smaller squad, that the heat and fatigue does start to play an issue in these type of circumstances, and you're looking at whether or not you can make sure to service those teams.
Absolutely, and I think so far the Rebels have played the perfect game that they need to give themselves a chance in this game. And it's just creating those opportunities and just hanging in there.
Rebels need to know they need to take some shots there. Caden back in the pocket and looking for number 82 as a one-on-one matchup. Safety from the Ducks was doing really well to get over the top on that and try and be competitive. It's an interesting problem being ahead with the Rebels and knowing that they have the ability to get the ball back in this first part of the second half. They're letting the clock stay really sharp, which means that the Ducks can have a chance to get back in. Run play here, shut down and stifled early. Be interesting to see if you're seeing a timeout from the Ducks or you're just letting the game run. Rebels will take their time here, looking to try and burn it down with possibly a third or fourth deep shot and then roll into the second half. Resting players and changing them in and out. Good coaching decisions across the board to make sure no one's hurt and they have people in the second half. Conventional formation we've seen, 2 backs in the backfield, wing back and 2 wide receivers. Might get play action or at least a deep shot here. Trying to run out the clock by the looks of it and not looking to do anything. They're on 4th down now. Punt, but the clock is ticking. Keeping a spy on number 13 is, I think, something that they'll be adding to their repertoire for this time. So not sure if we'll see another opportunity for him to make a play like he did previously. It's often you'll see some teams stay in their base defense here and try and make sure they don't give up anything silly like that and then just deal with where they get the ball in the scheme of things.
I think the Rebels are going to be careful here at 43 returning the ball for the Ducks. We've just seen what he can do.
It's incredibly elusive when it comes down to it. It's a deep punt over to the sidelines, possibly able to be fielded and recovered. Down within the reception of number 43, running down the sideline, looking if he can get through. Broken one tackle and then out at the midfield. This was again the risk that we had previously. The Ducks are now again within scoring distance with 1 or 2 plays. Got to make sure that we're making smart decisions here. I had a misunderstanding of the clock. I believe we've still got 2.5 minutes to go, which is more than enough time to try and manage this game as is required to score a game before the half. I do think it is critical that the Ducks score here. If they don't, they're going to be chasing off the second half, and the Rebels have shown a propensity to hold on to the ball as often as possible. Run to the outside, elusive, dodge, all.
It's a nice play in the backfield there. Number 1, Paul Tong for the Rebels. The Ducks there with a loss of 4 yards.
It's an interesting call here. Zach shows great discipline. Great play by Paul, looking like he's doing absolutely everything on the field to give the Rebels a chance to get in there. Surprised there wasn't a horse collar called on that. I know he was kind of falling, so it's one of those hard things to see at the time. Yeah. False start on the Ducks again. Showing just their youth at the moment. Couple of
False start.
minor mistakes that are really putting them behind the sticks.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I think they can feel the
Remaining
momentum that
second
they've
down.
got now leading into the half, and those boys are eager to essentially get the ball back in the end zone.
You can see the confusion by the Ducks offense there, not knowing what's gone wrong, so looking forward to that. Two-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in the half. Interesting to see if we go into book of tricks here to try and get some life going for the Ducks offense if they're not able to get something moving in the next play. Expecting a pass. You can see Caden, the QB's out, actually cut up on the inside field. Fumble recovery, recovered by Caden, brought down, momentum shift immediately.
That'll be a turnover.
You can see here all the intent and effort, running back going to the outside, not breaking up through contact, ball stripped out and kicked. Great intelligence by the QB there, getting down to recover the ball. Talk a lot about ball security in our league and understanding what role that has. It's absolutely critical.
I think we have a false start there on Rebels offense.
Mental mistakes proving costly to both teams at this point in the game. Turnovers acting as a much more critical role in Gridiron than in other sports. You're not protected as a ball carrier in the sense that you can be stripped with however many people you have on you, as well as turnovers creating significant momentum shift between both the offense and the defense. Looking at some incredible deep passing here, going one-on-one. I think 26 looked like he did that with supreme amount of confidence with a no-fly zone, but I don't think he was as confident as he was when he was watching 13 stream past him. To be honest, I think the underthrow there does a little bit of damage to the ability to put more points on the board. You can see here running over and having to come back to it. It's interesting decision. Creating an isolation with different receivers here. Heavy blitz pressure, getting brought down, huge sack, still running, not going down. Testament to Caden's ability to scramble and continue to maintain momentum there, because without that, that would have been a catastrophic play for the Rebels.
Absolutely.
You can see that he never stops fighting when it goes through the contact as well. When he's getting blitz pressure, he never gives up, and you can see he gets touched early here in this part, where he dodges that first one, leg round, another tackle that's missed and broken, shakes it. He's getting chased down, and then someone comes in and makes a low tackle to wrap it up. But yeah, he was pressured well into the early part of the down. Rebels have called a timeout while we've been watching this, giving themselves some time to try and think of a play call and make sure it's appropriate for where they are on the field, and give their team a breather. Incredibly close game. I don't think anyone's clearly pulling ahead at the moment. Heat showing on both teams. You can see the hydration engineers there trying to get water out to the teams and make sure that they're ready to go.
Yeah, I think both teams will be really looking forward to getting into the change rooms in the half and just looking to gain that composure back and reset. I feel like this game, with the conditions that we're in, it's really who stays switched on coming out in that second half that's going to give themselves every opportunity to take home the trophy today.
It can be hard to come out after the second half as well. If you're staying ahead and you're not as hungry as you need to be and you think you've got it. I think sometimes the teams that are waiting in the second half to come out and really prove something are the most dangerous.
Yeah, I think the Ducks have really got a point to prove after half-time and getting their offense going, because it's been very uncharacteristic like what they've shown so far today.
Seeing double bunch formation. 6, 8, 10, there's 10 players on the
Tight coverage there on number 1, Paul Tom. And probably just slightly underthrown.
Yeah. It's it was a bit of leeway there as well because there appears to be 10 players on the field.
The Rebels looking for every advantage in this game.
There's 9 players on the field this time, so hopefully, look, Rebels bailed out there in a way by not having to be accountable for that. Delay of game to the Rebels there. 41 seconds left. Special teams and a punt. You know, I always have a level of anxiety around punt returns on no matter what side I'm on. A booming kick by number 13. Unsure as to where that's going to go. 8 needs to not be anywhere near it. His coach is screaming at him from the sidelines. They've potentially got 1 or 2 plays left to try and drive this home at the end of the half. Great kick by number 13, and great decision making by the Ducks there to avoid that.
Right, Mitch. 27 seconds on the clock, 2 plays left.
I'm optimistic
what are
for
you
a
doing?
trick play. I want a trick play. I want a flea flicker. I want to see something cheeky. I want to see confidence to run outside zone and make 12, 13 yards and not even worry about it. What would I know? It's. I think there'll be a timeout called here. Unsure about how many they have left at the moment. Look, there's an element of having a play here that's unexpected really helps get your offense into a position to score. I think when you're put in these situations and with the amount of mental errors that the team's shown up until this point, that there's value in doing something you know really well and then not changing it up much at all. Defensively, I know they've got to pass. I'd be playing a prevent defense of some description, cover 2 man, man on everything with safeties over the top, or a funky exotic blitz to try and get the QB out of their comfort zone. It would be challenging, I think, I wouldn't have expected an outside zone to run for 12 yards and put them in this position at the moment. So I think, look, in Lockie and in Oren we trust, and you've really got to be in on whatever the head coach says as players. We often talk about it in teams where, you can be all wrong. If everyone's done the wrong thing, that's great. But you can't have half people do the wrong thing, half people do the right thing. And I think as long as everyone knows what they're doing, you'll be all right. I think they've got all their senior players on the field. This is where they need to shine. You've got 13 across on one side. You've got Emotion. You've got Caden playing over the top. You're looking at a pass over here. You've got a one-on-one matchup deep over the middle. 43s. Seeing the sidelines expecting a pass interference call there, I think that the DB wasn't preventing him from doing it and was really just face shielding and things. You can see it here. He's looking for a big pass, nice drop back. He sets and throws. The DB was face guarding, which he's allowed to do, and it wasn't against the rules by any means. Great call by the officials to not throw a flag. Seeing a wider split here, which I think means they're going to look for something to open up in the middle. Their receivers are sort of in a different position, and you can see that one-on-one matchup over there. 8 seconds left. I expect them to make one last call. Arm strength is a little bit of an issue for this quarterback at the moment. I don't think he's got the ability to rocket it, 30 yards down the field and put it. So I expect you to look perhaps on this for some double moves, like you can get a stop and go or a slant and go, something like that allows them to get open, but they don't have to be open 10, 20, 30 yards downfield. The speed from the Ducks is there. It's just about trying to get them out of this man coverage with some of these senior players. Paul, Caden aren't biting on some of this just speed stuff. They're playing safe over the top. You've really got to find a way to try and break them down into it. And speed, I was wrong. Huge shot over the middle.
Number 1 coming in clutch there again. 43 for the Ducks again, proving to be threatening in this offense.
Not sure how much time they have left. Contested catching is something that's incredibly hard to teach and even harder to learn. I think with the 4 seconds left or something that they'll have on this last play, that they've got to take a shot for it regardless. So let's see what we've got. Trips to the wide side of the field. We've got a motion, waiting to see what happens, trying to get it. Delay a game.
Delay game. Number 12 of the offense. 5-yard
Ducks
penalty.
offense is given a certain amount of time from when the ball is set to try and get out and make a play, and they were delayed, and that's what I was touching on penalties previously. When no advantage is particularly given, it's a mechanical failure. You've got a 5-yarder here. I don't think that changes what the Ducks are going to try and do. You've got to make sure that you're going to try and do something here. Seeing good blitz pressure here, getting someone over the top, trying to throw on the run is hard. Open to the field here, trying to dodge a tackle. Open field as he's running through. Brought down by number 13.
Great tackle there by 13 for the Rebels. So the Ducks look to get reset before the end of the half.
Hold on. We'll see if we can get this up on a replay, but there's going to be a perception that a player was prevented from setting the ball and was hit by a Rebels player, I think is what we're seeing here. See the Ducks team giving some love to a receiver who just got out there and got after it. Some deliberation here with the zebra convention.
We have a dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 94 of the defence. That'll be assessed 1/2
It's a
distance
huge play
to
with
the
a
goal.
dead ball foul,
Third
half distance
down
to the
the
goal
pen.
line. This puts the Ducks within 3
Time out.
yards of scoring
Sydney.
as we roll
That's
into the
their
end of the
third and
second
final
half,
team
end of the first
timeout.
half. 5 seconds.
So now we take the timeout.
Be interesting to see what they're going to trust themselves to pull out of the hat here.
The timeout, do they revert to the tush push? Made famous by Philly this season.
Look, it's the brotherly shove has its moments. They were shown to be incredibly successful moments ago. You can see here as he's running across that he was there was a penalty issued for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct on the person who ran into the Ducks player as he was trying to spot the ball. It is a consideration that you can't interact with players post completion of the play, and you can't prevent them from trying to maintain tempo on the clock. So I think the coach's recommendation would be do it, just don't do it so visibly if we talk to coaches around the world. Big moment for the Ducks here to try and keep themselves in this race and mentally get after what it is they're trying to do. Depth is beginning to show a little bit more here with the different formations that we're able to see from the Ducks and what they're showing. Huge touchdown by the Ducks. A little bit of razzle dazzle, a little bit of dressing on the top. But what effectively we saw there was just effort and tenacity to get the ball across the line.
Yeah, and the motion of 36 across to that narrow side of the field as well, giving the Ducks the numbers advantage there.
See it again on the replay. You see a motion across the field.
Rebels don't adjust.
They're able to get in, seal the edge. 43 is running. Spin move across the goal line, putting themselves in a position. I think this is a concerning spot for the Rebels, is the momentum shift here now will be hard to try and change. Confidence is back. You can see them making better decisions, passing the right guys, cutting inside. They're working hard to get across.
Oh, big stop there, though.
Big stop there.
Two-point conversion. That's going to be crucial leading in the second half.
With tied game at the end of the quarter, or end of the half, looking forward to a bonus round in the second half. Luke, just give us a summary of what you thought of the first half. Let us know what you think.
Oh, look, it's a bit of a war of attrition out there between these two teams. I mean, you've got the generally very polished Ducks out there just making some executing mistakes, and you know, they'll learn from it. They'll talk about it at half time, and they've definitely got the momentum going into the second half. The Rebels, I think they played the perfect game for the first half. They've given themselves every chance. They're lower on numbers. It's their first time here. For those guys, it's just keep on fighting.
I agree, and I think that both teams have fought incredibly hard. I'm looking forward to the second half. Close games all around, and half-time adjustments, right? We'll wait and see what they have. We'll be back with you just before the kick-off of the second half. Thanks, everyone. back after a quick KFC break. Thanks for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we have a tied game coming into the second half. Rebels have shown a defining amount of tenacity and athleticism, and you can see on the screen here a special teams trick play to go and score a touchdown, and then the Ducks firing back at the end of the first half and being able to see why they've been the undefeated team all year. What were your highlights, Blue?
Look, I think just generally overall was just the Rebels giving themselves a chance, obviously being a member of the club. It's really impressive to see that with those guys, their first time here on a bowl game on a Saturday. So, yeah, I think for me it's just, as a proud clubman, is watching these guys give their best effort in this second half and just see where they end up.
Yeah, I think the view of a recovery from the Ducks after being down sort of significantly both on the scoreboard and from a temperament point of view, and then seeing them recover has been really good. The individual contributions of the Rebels team from the likes of Paul and Caden and how hard they're working on both sides of the ball here to be competitive is incredible, especially in this heat.
Yeah, we've been talking about number 13 a fair bit in this call so far, and just looking at the fact sheet here, Junior is actually a soccer player. It's his first year playing the sport, so I guess the soccer contributes to his footwork and his athleticism. But he's not the booming kick, but he's not afraid of contact either, and he's shown it on both sides of the ball. So yeah, really sets us up for an interesting second half between these two teams.
Yeah, definitely looks like a gridiron player in his effort and his desire to get after and make tackles and do what he needs to do. So, look, Ducks will be kicking off in this half. Rebels will be receiving, trying to get a score in early to make sure they can maintain the momentum they've had. We have talked about team size and looked at what it is. I think the Rebels are holding on through a collaborative effort to playing for one another, which is what the northern suburbs are known for in regards to the attitude towards each other and the teams. They've always been happy to get around it.
Yeah, absolutely. Today is just classic Rebels football. It's nothing flashy. It's just kind of biting down on your gum shield and
that's it. I think there was always that famous line, protect this dirt, right? And so being in the North Shore, I think the boys have taken a level of pride in being able to get after that.
And Forestwell, well known for its dirt as opposed to its turf.
That is true. Much nicer field here at Brookvale Oval, which we've been lucky to be able to host our grand finals at. I reckon a big kick here as well. Ducks are known to be able to get it down deep. Fielded and returned.
Great stop there by the Ducks.
Big tackle by number 42. Great hand strength to be able to hold on to that. Lucky it wasn't around the horse collar rules, so we'll wait and see if that's what's coming to fruition here. Oh, we got a different penalty on the play. Looks like we've got a block in the back on the returning team.
During the return, we have a block in the back. Number 49 of the return team. That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
So some fouls are assessed from the spot of the foul, some are assessed from the end of the run, depending on who it is. So based on where they've spotted the block in the back, it'll be 10 yards from there. Oh, okay, you can see that clearly with number 49 deciding to level 31 of the Ducks. Frustration and the like will still get higher in this heat as well, especially if teams can't manage to control the way the game's going and how they're behaving. Seeing the offense come out here for the first drive looks incredibly good. Quick snap, pass, QB keep with Caden, hustle to keep him down.
Gain of 6 on the play there by Caden. Doing everything to keep his team in this today.
Wing back in a position to QB's back to pass, looking down deep, scrambling to get around. 25 keeping him contained, doing a spin again, giving up a lot of ground.
Huge
Sacked.
Great adjustment here by the Ducks D-line as well, knowing that they have to contain Caden today. He is an athlete. He does love to scramble and make yards on broken plays, but for these guys to send pressure and set the edge and contain him, it's going to be key moving forward in the second half.
This is some of those halftime adjustments that we spoke about as well here. You can see him getting down, staying disciplined to the outside, sealing back off the turn, 58 off the edge, maintaining the temperament. It's an incredible change from the Ducks we saw in the first half. False start, number 19 by the looks of it. Again, these mental errors that we saw in the first half of the Ducks look to have been flipped on their head. So we're going to be at 3rd and 16 now, back in towards their own end zone as well, in what we'd like to call the danger zone for offences to be giving up particular points. The Rebels faithful still hasn't realised that being loud on offence is really not going well for them, including creating false starts on their own offence, which is challenging.
Yeah, we're just seeing some of those mental mistakes coming into play now. Number 77 there, right guard for the Rebels with a false start.
It's not often you have to tell your own team to be quiet, so it's a particularly challenging environment. You can see the frustration boil over a little bit from Caden there and watching them misalign on the snap. So again, 3rd and 21. 4 yards from their own end zone. Mental effort here to try and make sure. Deep pass, being able to get out. You can see him scrambling, trying to break the line of scrimmage and keep him in contained. He'll maintain forward momentum, but it will only be...
The officials will be spotting the ball at the 2 or 3 yard line there.
That's correct. 4th and incredibly long. What I'd expect from here is a punt. Again, the concerns that we've seen is the mental mistakes associated with the performance in this red zone and the pressure that comes on. It's hard to come out with the right temperament in the second half, especially with these adjustments. Ducks have shown an incredible job here of maintaining temperament and being able to come in and play the way they've been known to play. First half wasn't characteristic of what they've done.
Absolutely, and you're seeing the energy there with four Ducks to the ball carrier.
Nice kick.
Ooh, big miss there by
dodged a huge tackle.
Fumble.
Out to the outside, recovered, fumble, still running. Back up towards the sideline, running down the sideline here. Taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Sometimes they play your way, and that fumble managed to fall into their lap quite effectively. It's on the Ducks now to make this transition. It kind of seems reminiscent of the first half in reverse. Do you know what I mean? There was Ducks started, weren't able to get things going. Big defensive stand. Recovery here. Great ball awareness to be able to identify and track it down, and still getting to the outside, securing the ball and transitioning over to the right side to put it away from the defender. Incredibly well behaved. Huge dodge there.
Great awareness there by 43, Julius for the Ducks.
Motion again to the outside, jet sweep, trying to transition it, speed around the corner, getting up and around, pulled down, 2-yard loss to the Ducks.
Yeah, wait for the Rebels defense there to scrape across laterally. Again, number 13, getting himself involved in the play.
You can see here the motion, a little bit of a fumbled handoff. 13's hard off the edge, trying to turn the corner by number 43. He does just get caught and pulled down. Great effort there by the linebackers and the safeties, and 35 to do what he needs to do. Will be interesting if we get a similar look here, motion across the side of the field and try and get the back going in the opposite direction. I think they're going to be trying back to the outside, turning a corner, cutting up along the sidelines. Dodge one tackle, still in bounds, being brought down 13 yards.
I think there was some heavy contact at the end there. 94 for the Rebels on 43 for the Ducks. Let's hope he's okay.
You can see here great awareness to get round the corner and up. Reading it, sharing the sideline, dodging number 13. You can see him cut back inside here.
The sideline cheering on their man.
Feels like a different game already to watch how the teams are responding. Ducks are louder, they're more involved. They less in their head about this whole process.
Yeah, it's really good to see, and we kind of picked it on their experience, and we know they've been there before. Just keeping their head in the game.
Cleared the field. Looks like we're going to see new running back in. Making sure they're not making mental mistakes here. High snap, nice throw, pitch to the outside, turning the corner. 36 breaking one tackle, running through, breaking another, taken out of bounds at the 3-yard line. 13 again, making a stellar play to try and get in and be able to handle this. You can see the dodge here, second break, and being taken out of bounds by Junior Southway. Tricky motion, high snap, handed off to the running back, bounce to the outside, coming through, lowering his shoulders, huge touchdown to the Ducks. 98 showing his tenacity there, running through some defenders and getting points on the board. .98 hobbling around on the field. Coach is going to be telling him to go down if he doesn't stop doing that. See here, tricky motion, takes it back outside. You watch the defenders trying to cover it. Handed back off on the inside zone. Great reads here, dodges his first and lowers his shoulders to go and get through the end zone.
Yeah, great effort here for the QB, number 12, to reach up and save the high snap, and Kobe, the running back there, to punch it in.
This is a scramble and a half by the QB, turning and running. Oh, bat down by Junior. Great diving attempt by the wide receiver there. Score is 20-14 Ducks. Two-point conversions are incredibly important with teams, especially when we start to get into these higher scoring games. They make the difference quite rapidly on how we're positioning and how teams are able to account for the difference. So a lot of teams carry a specific package to handle their two-point conversions if they're not going to kick field goals. You don't see field goals kicked in NSW juniors or under 19s, just based on, one, the time I think it takes to practice them, and two, the length off the edge with the number of players they have seems something that we don't see often. Expecting another big kick here from the Ducks. They've shown the ability to keep it downfield. I think watching their tempo and their attitude and getting out on the field and the speed, depth is playing an advantage for them at this point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ducks showing some real resilience here and fighting their way back in the second half. And
it's anyone's game though as well. I don't think for a second I'm sitting there and thinking that it won't be anyone. Bouncing kick and out of the back of the end zone, so we'll be taking it from the 20-yard line for the Rebels' first drive. Hopefully we can see them rally, less mental mistakes. Blue, I think, from the Rebels in the second drive of this half, and looking at what they can try and do to be effective. You can see here the snap. He had to take a big sack on this series, rolling back into where he's going, trying to make something happen, which is incredibly challenging. But yeah, 4 sacks for the Ducks defense at this moment in time.
Interesting to see what Coach Owen from the Rebels calls as well, trying to conserve the energy of his guys in this third quarter, while also driving the field. Inside zone.
The Rebels O-line aren't getting them off the ball like they were in the first quarter and first half, which shows just the depth and the heat issues that you're doing. So it changes what you start to call in the second half, knowing what you can and can't get guys open on and where you can achieve success. I think we will see a bit more of a passing game now, knowing that they're not going to be able to get as much traction against the defensive line. QB keep to the outside.
We do have a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage.
Well shut down by number 40 there.
This Ducks defense is really playing with some high energy now, and you can see the guys rallying around each other. So it's a tough ask, but the Rebels offense, they've got to match that energy out there and look to overcome the momentum shift that we've seen since the end of the first half.
Waiting for the flag code to come in.
We have a high-low block on the offense. That'll be a half distance to the goal. Second down.
I think that's considered clipping or a high-low block. Not allowed to do that. It's a safety concern. It'll push them back. Yeah, so you can see that on 88 there that it's a high-low or clipping, so where they take him out and then they hit him up high, and it's just a safety risk for the team.
Rebels now really under pressure in their own half, 2nd and 18.
Looking for a big pass here. Expecting a vertical route to Junior and some bunch over the other side. Big power play, getting blockers out in front. Doesn't get bought by the Ducks defense, swarming in. Great run by Zach, but a lot of Ducks defenders there to try and stop him from getting any depth around that. We're on 3rd and long. Love the tenacity to fight through the contact and try and get back onto the field there. You can see the Ducks just swarming in, making sure they're able to be there to try and help their mates when they're trying to make a tackle. This is a big 3rd down. Delay of game, pushing them back another 5 yards. The mental errors are stacking up at the moment in regards to field position and how they're contributing to where they're going.
Yeah, it feels like we've flipped from what we've seen in the first half with the Ducks and their start to how the Rebels have come out in the second half, but still plenty of game to go.
By no means is it over. I think their ability to do a deep strike that you can see here, and Caden putting air under the ball as he's going downfield.
And
intercepted. 23 returning across the field, reading a block, getting downfield. 13 chasing down now.
Huge play.
Huge turnover. Huge momentum shift to the Ducks.
The Ducks really playing with high energy now. You can see them on the sideline getting around with each other, and the defense is just has really shone through in this second half and given their O something to work with field position wise, as the Ducks O will look to get some points in the end zone.
And this is more reflective of what we expect to see from the Ducks defense historically. You can see here Caden making a deep pass, read down the field, playing with a level of confidence, safety and corner turning, intercepting the ball, and then safety telling him where to go and him cutting back across field. Great return and great effort by number 23 on the defense.
High snap there.
Thank you. Second.
High snap to the Ducks, now making it 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 20 by the looks of it. Motion again, inside zone to the back, cutting up in field, doing a great job of fighting his way through contact. So 3rd and long for the Ducks here. Not a particularly great recovery from the run that they were working towards to begin with. I think they're still going to try and go for it here one way or the other to push put their team in the right position. Looks like a pass. You got a switch route over the top, deep throw.
Oh, great
recovery, great catch, huge catch. Man beating route there. Watch it on the replay. You're going to see a nice little switch route. Changes up the man coverage defense that they've been seeing all game. Puts them in a position to be successful.
43. Jaden from the Ducks, a huge play there. And just in some of his facts that he's given us commentating team today is that him and QB12 play lunchtime football, and you can just see that connection that they've got as QB and receiver here on the field today.
You can see there on that route concept that you got a slant on the inside and a nice little wheel to the out, which gave him some good leverage to be able to do what he needs to do. Quick run to the inside, broke through the defender. 28-14. Starting to show flashes of what we had expected earlier in the game. Rebels holding on and still within immediate scoring distance of this work. By no means are they looking to keel over. I expect them to come out hard on the next kick return. And the dynamism of this team is with the big players like Paul, Junior and Caden. You do have this instant touchdown threat. Do you know what I mean? They can come out, do a kick return, they'll be within 8 points of where they need to be right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the difference with being a small squad. If you've got a couple of game breakers like those guys you just mentioned, then you always give yourself every opportunity to stay in the game.
So it looks like there was a flag on that 2-point attempt. They are going to be playing again. Unsure as to what that was. 98 showing a bit of attitude there as he runs towards the goal line.
And they go back to him. Harry Watson, 98, running back of the Ducks. It looks like he was stopped just short.
Stopped short. Slow-mo run on the 2-point that didn't count did not offset the slow-mo run on the 2-point that they tried. So, unfortunately, leaving points on the board there. You can see here again the switch route we saw earlier and the tidy completion right into the zone of chasing down the corner here. Safety trying to get over the top. Not making the effort to get over there, unfortunately. Heat again playing a factor. I think Paul, being number one, is playing both ways. There's got to be a recognition there of the defense and how hard they're working to maintain this. Again, looking if they can keep a kickoff in bounds and get a dynamic return here. Well within striking distance of Caden's arm and some of the speed of the receivers. I don't think for a second that this is going to be something that can run away just yet. 3 minutes left approximately in the quarter, and then another quarter to go. You can see the return here received down well, trying to make something of it. Number 41 running towards the defenders, burning it around to the outside, taking the edge, getting tackled just outside of bounds, but greater than it would have been if it was a touchback on the 28-yard line. 29-yard line. So it's a good decision from the Rebels to be able to bring that out of the end zone. Just seeing the last interception that got thrown here. Great play by the corner to be able to turn and recognise this. Play's been blown in on the field. Seeing Caden communicate with his O-line, getting receivers set, looking at where the defenders are on the field, understanding that. Looking at some quick short routes over the middle, just not able to get a completion there. There were plenty of uncovered receivers, so it might just be that he needs to take a little bit more time to survey the field and see what he's doing.
And good rush there by 88 of the Ducks, getting pressure to Caden there in the backfield.
Completely. Snap by Caden, looking to deliver a delete ball over the middle, running through, broken a tackle there, running towards the sideline, being able to get there, pushed out of bounds at the 30. As we said, they're not rolling over yet anytime soon, Blue, and we really think that they're going to try and capitalise on this change momentum quickly.
Yeah, that's right, Mitch. I think that's the key to this game for the Rebels is go to your playmakers. You're in that position now. Conditions aren't favouring you. It's go those X-factor players just to break this open and get yourself back in there.
Great poise and confidence there by both Junior and Caden to put themselves in a position to be successful. You can see a deep drop back pass here. Caden looking deep to try and throw it.
And a sack
and
there.
Sacked.
88 for the Ducks. BJ Ruapuna in his first year playing Gridiron. Well, he's been putting plenty of pressure on the Rebels quarterback so far this game.
It is one of the issues with the deeper drop back pass game that you do have to be able to protect the quarterback. Now, Caden's doing a good job of trying to get out of the pocket and move that around so that the D-line just don't have a free rush on where they're going. He is looking deep, but he's so fast off the edge that he doesn't even get a chance to be responsive to that. Looking at that defensive change already, we've gone from 4 to 5 sacks and an additional turnover. It's a huge testament to the Ducks defense. Rebels set, looking for another deep pass, seeing throw.
Great pass.
Completion.
Great
Missed the tackle there. Another tackle. Junior still running across the field, hustling to bring him down. Huge change. Incredible cuts and agility by 13 here, trying to get downfield and make a play for his team. We've got a timeout on the Rebels, charge timeout, giving themselves a chance to make a decision on what they're going to be doing here. Fatigue is also setting in on the Ducks. You can see they're missing tackles and they're just tired to get to where they need to be. A welcome timeout, I think, for both teams to be able to try and regain their composure and do what they need to do. Broken plays seem to be a bane of the Ducks defense at the moment. The consistency in shutting it down, you know, it's always the risk with defenses that do blitz or that do get pressure. You know, it's big risk, big reward. If you're vacating space on the defense to send someone to go and attack the quarterback or get after a running back and like that, you do open up passing holes. And with senior QBs and QBs that can look at defenses and know what's happening, you do start to see those spots get exposed, like we did with the crossing route over the middle and the vacated linebacker. Ducks play quite flat on their D-line as well, so they're not getting much middle of the field protection for those crossing routes. Really good call by the coaching staff on the Rebels to be able to try and identify that and then attack it. Pass to be made. Deep over the top. PI calls. PI by what appears to be number 25, but we'll wait and see.
2, spot foul. Matt, where's the spot? Give the flag, 'cause that's where.
Hearing a discussion with Brian and co. Should hear them now. Costly mental mistake to put them within 6 yards or 7 yards of scoring distance here. Seeing a bigger fullback in now, I reckon that they're going to hitch their horse to that and ride that wagon in for a touchdown based on the moment.
We should be on the 4. So it was, okay. So 5, 10. 15. Yeah, Matt, bring it up.
Looks like there's a discussion
15.
around the alignment of the ball. Looks like it should be 8 yards instead of 7. So appreciate the accuracy from the officials here and making sure there's no confusion. Return to live play now. QB keep. Stopped short.
Yeah, the knee was down at the 4-yard line. But they'll swap the ball.
And that is the end of the quarter. Looks like we'll be turning this over. Timing now becomes an issue for the Rebels, just on the ability to hold on to the ball and where they're seeing 2 scores down and where they need to get to. If they convert here, they're in a position to put the Ducks back on the field with an offence that seems to have found its momentum, which will then create challenges for the Rebels to get back on the field in time to score. I think there has to be some considerations there for them as to what that looks like. The 2-score game is particularly challenging to try and break open with the time frames and constraints that you have. By no means is it over. I think it's an incredibly close game with both ebbs and flows towards the Rebels and the Ducks here. So
yeah,
it's reflective of the teams that should be in the game.
Absolutely. And I think the other deciding factor, and we've spoken about it since the start of the game, is just the heat and the conditions here. I mean, it's going to affect both teams equally as much in this 4th quarter. So Ducks have shown some real resiliency to turn their game around and to take the lead. And, you know, Rebels in typical fashion have just got to claw their way back into this.
I don't think that we're going to see any major changes to the plays that they're running or how they're behaving at the moment. It looks like they're both executing where they need to be. There was an incredible catch just seen there by number 43 of the Ducks, and understanding what it is that we're going to be seeing now going into the 3rd quarter.
Rebels kept the same personnel on the field. The bigger fullback in the game now, number 92.
Split back is a different look with the tight end. Looks like they're going to try and get a play action pass out to somewhere. Subject to a huge sack again. Massive upside for number 25 from the Ducks. 88 following in and 71. All there to try and contribute to what they need to do.
Yeah, a real costly error there from the Rebels. That's one where you just want to throw it away in that scramble motion.
Can see here trying to get play action and being open. He's got direct pressure right off the edge. Can't throw the ball. Getting scooped and then put down onto the ground by number 25. Great job by Caden to hold on to the ball. A lot of the time you do see those positions to get strip sacked and not be able to retain the ball.
Yeah, lapse in concentration. Rebels with a false start. You can see things just getting a little heated out there on the field between these guys.
heat and all of these things start to play a factor in how people behave. Unsure what the flag is for. See the referees conferring on what seems to be a debate around player interaction. Ducks look ready to go. This is a big third down. They're deep in their own. I think the worst thing that they could get here is unsportsmanlike conduct or a personal foul that resets the downs for the.
We have multiple fouls on the play. False start. Number 82 of the offense. Personal foul. Number 94 of the offense. Personal foul. Number 71 of the defense. Those
So they have
penalties
two
will
offsetting
offset.
personal fouls
We
and a
replay
false
third
start.
down.
Everything will be deducted and they'll replay the third down. It is what happens that often if you do see if there's a bit of chippiness and both players get fouled, they'll then offset because there's no reason to move the ball around. Fortunately, there was a false start in there as well that got offset as part of that whole element. So it's just a replay of downs. You can see it here. There's a false start. Understanding what's going on. Rebels faithful trying to get behind their offense and make a heap of noise. You can see pass here. Deep
Huge
pass over
play.
the field.
13 junior for the Rebels.
Incredible catch in a contested environment for the Rebels, beating a Ducks defender over the middle. Incredible poise and composure there. Requires a level of trust to be able to put a ball in that position for a receiver and know that they're going to be able to go and get it. And you can see that Caden believes in Junior to be able to make that pass, know that it's covered, and still go through and make a play.
Absolutely, and I think the composure on Caden's behalf to step up in the pocket under that pressure and to make the throw. Really impressive stuff. See Caden just run it in for the 2-point conversion, narrowing this Ducks lead to 4 points. Boy, have we got a game on our hands. Incredibly
Close, reminiscent of the game earlier this morning as well with the Opal Bowl and the inching the win UNSW Raiders women's team. Looking at the composure and the changes that we're seeing here and the contributions of Caden and Junior and Paul, it's just it's a testament to the effort that's put in for the team and how hard they've worked.
Yeah, and I think the game as a whole as well, Mitch. A lot of these names and numbers that we've been calling out off the team sheets today, a lot of these guys are in their first season playing, and we're making commentary on just how good a player they are and the plays they're making. So real healthy signs for the league and for both of these clubs in particular.
We're looking to see, I'm assuming, what's going to be a deep kick for the Rebels to try and drive the field here and pin the Ducks back. Depending on their confidence, though. Yeah, okay. Deep kick downfield, well fielded.
Straight to 43.
43, bringing it out down the sideline, looking for space, making a run, looking at where he can get, crossing the field, staying on the inside, dodging one, and then getting it back to the 40-yard line. These are great returns that we're seeing from both teams in these circumstances.
We just see how important special teams are when it comes to these game situations. Rebels there not being able to contain the edge and 43 making these additional yards to really put his offense in a strong position.
There's an incredible amount of patience that he uses here to bend and weave across the different providers, and you can see again Paul, number one, being able to make a huge tackle to control that. If it wasn't for him, it would be a very different game. We've got twins to the boundary, tight end and back to the field, looking to identify and manage number 13, what looks like really simple pass, deep shot over the top, overthrown. If a pass is uncatchable, PI doesn't exist. There was nothing wrong with that play at all. One of the route combinations we've seen earlier, it's designed to beat man coverage, is a little mix-up route where you get an inside breaking route from the outside receiver and an outside breaking route from the inside receiver. Makes it really hard to defend effectively or be able to generate what you need to do. We've got twins to the right side of the field with a tight end and a wing back on the right, on the narrow side, looking to run back here, trying to close it down to the outside. Well defended by the Rebels. Second wind coming into this defence and seeing what they're trying to do. Got back to the line of scrimmage for no loss, but definitely looking at what they're going to try and do to bust this open. They're in field position will be particularly challenging. This was the drive that you wanted to try and control the tempo, not rush into it, burn through some of the clock so they're not in a position to do that. Or alternatively, go really quick, try and score, and then try and score again. You know, there's a lot of different views around what that looks like. Timeout called to the Ducks. Looks like there was a bit of a formation issue there with 4 receivers on one side of the field, and no one being able to run downfield on that side. So interesting to see what that looks like, and if there's a way for you to try and understand blue, I welcome it. But you can see the Ducks coaches there trying to get their team on board with what it is that they're trying to do. It's been a great second half, and to see neither team sort of roll over and then quit and really look to compete through all 4 phases of football is absolutely incredible. Ducks look like they're ready to go set. Bit of a new formation. Wide receiver out to the wide side of the field, too high. Putting Caden looking at this mesh route over the top. Overthrown. Looks like this is going to be a punt now. I can't imagine that they're going to go for it on 4th down here. Looking to try and pin the Rebels back in their own 10-yard line and then control the flow of this game with defence. Approximately 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Ducks are ahead, but only by 4 points. It's incredibly close. Waiting to see a call here. I had a coach talk to me once, and they never believed in wasting a timeout on special teams because the 5 yards isn't worth losing the timeout for. So maybe just maybe the coach has a different plan here, and he needed time to talk to them. But yeah, the consensus has often been that if you're down a player or it's a misalignment or something, take the 5 yards and punt from wherever it puts you. Don't waste a timeout. Timeouts are precious. So losing a timeout there to confirm your punt formation, if that's what it is a risky call by the Ducks coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if I'm the Rebels defence, I'm expecting a fake here.
I think you have to be after they call a timeout before a special teams play. It's always a level of anxiety that coaches have when they wanting you to do something different to what you normally are, and then they're going to go out. Risk here as well is that the centre can't be hit and the kicker can't be hit. There's safety elements to this part of the game, so making sure that there's no confusion there is particularly good.
Booming punt.
Kicker was hit. We'll wait and see. There's 2 offsetting penalties here. there's penalties all over the field. Actually, we've got 2 flags back where the kicker is, and then we've got 1 on the reception. Looking to see the communication from the officials here. Potentially be a replay of downs if the fouls are offsetting. Brian Harwood getting the lowdown from his officiating crew. Several penalties were put in place on that play. For people who aren't aware, you're not allowed to hit players with their back to you, which was potentially an issue that you saw down with the receiving team, and then the kicker can also not
We have 2 fouls on the
be
play.
hit in the process of kicking the ball.
Roughing the kicker. Number 94 of the defence. We have a block in the back on the kick team. Those fouls will offset. Replay, 4th down.
So they'll be punting again. The Ducks weren't bailed out by hitting the kicker. Unfortunately, their own personal foul at the other end of the play offset, so they will be forced to punt again. It's part of the rule we touched on earlier, where you cannot hit defenceless players. Kickers are perceived as defenceless, hence their protection.
Yeah, just a little bit too much eagerness by the Rebels, number 94 there, trying to make a play, help his team out.
It's a nice chip punt down there, looking to try and get on it as much as possible. Very close to an accidental touch by the Rebels. You can see the coach is freaking out already, making sure that they don't. For those at home, the minute that the ball is touched by a receiving team's player, the ball is then live and is able to be retrieved by the kicking team. So that could have been a big turnover if managed effectively.
Absolutely. Probably be hearing the calls of poison out there on the field at the moment.
41 had incredible ankle accuracy here to be able to go up and then just do the little
serious
thing. So,
agility.
yeah. There's a real challenge now with the 7 minutes left on the clock, that the Rebels have the ability to immediately and accurately score. If they don't have that, I don't know what's happened there. False start by the centre.
We have an illegal snap. Number 78 of the offence. The 5-yard penalty.
There you go.
For a 1st down.
That's a wild experience. So yeah, the Rebels have the ability to score from here. Being cautious to what that looks like for the Ducks. If the timing doesn't line up well, they're going to be chasing their tail with no time left to go. Run to the outside, quick pitch, cutting back inside. Well tackled. We can see a flag down on the field there. Unsure what that's going to look like. It's going to be holding. I'd be pushing them back if it was me. I'd like them on the 2-yard line.
Absolutely.
Holding on the offence. That penalty is declined.
There you go.
Brings up 2nd down.
Lockie's trusting in his defence. Writing it off that it's 2nd down. They kept him at the line of scrimmage. It's an interesting decision to make. I think keeping them out of their own red zone is a thing that's particularly challenging. You put them on the 2-yard line, it puts the QB in the end zone, and it changes the discussion that you're having around where they sit on the field and everything else. So
Absolutely.
look, it's 2nd and 15, 2 back, receiver either side, seeing a bobbled punt, a bobbled snap, trying to lob it deep downfield, waiting to see it, seeing if they can pick it. Broken up, well covered by the Ducks. 4 DBs on that ball at that point in time to try and do it. 3rd and long. You can see that there's a level of trust between Caden and Junior in making those passes that's really starting to show.
Absolutely. I think it's worth mentioning the Ducks' pass rush pressure as well. Having 3 down linemen and a rushing edge player, it's really starting to play havoc on the Rebels' offensive line in that pass protection scheme that they're running.
Exactly. Looking here, 3rd and long, there will be an expectation that they have to try and pass. They're getting receivers out, trying to isolate out where they can be strong here. It's a pass. They don't know what's going on. Some misdirection. Nearly caught by Caden. Caden out on the run, trying to get separation to the side. Well tackled.
Great play by the Ducks there, 24.
Looking at 4th and long, this is the situation that they wanted to try and avoid. A loss of steam in this situation is particularly challenging to recover from. Punting back to the Ducks with 6.5 minutes to go. Scoring challenges may prevail here, both in the timing associated with scoring as well as everything else. Again, special teams have proven dynamic on both sides of the ball. There's a potential for them to return this back to the starting point. Regardless of the booming kick here, they have some, I guess, elusive backs and the ability to really drive where they need to go. I don't think they'll make the same mistake again. Looks like a base defense to me there, Blue, so I don't think they're ever going to take any chances again. It's a big kick. They need to call poison and get out of the way. They're not going to touch it. Great decision by the Ducks to let that play die. Small gain from the Rebels and an incredible field position for the Ducks.
As we see the Ducks start to take the field now, and the officials will set the ball at the 31-yard line, putting them in a fantastic position to be able to capitalise on it.
A quick score here creates a problem as well for the Rebels because of the timing associated with it. So if they do score quickly, the gap then will be the Rebels will get the ball back, timing will start to expire. They're then going to have to try an onside kick to maintain the tempo of the game. It just puts in more variables that people haven't been aware of historically.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big drive on the Rebels' defence now. I mean, they need to come up with a stop, a 3 and out, and look to get Caden and the offence back out there and give their playmakers opportunities. And we've seen it all day. Paul Tong, number 1, Junior, number 13. I'll be trying to get the ball in those guys' hands and running off that play action and try and get some chunk plays to drive the field.
That's it. I'll be interested to see how the Ducks come out of this and what they look like. They look like they're rallying to come out hard and see what they need to get done. They've been fairly standard in their play calling at the moment. We haven't seen anything too unconventional, motions and outside zones, not looking at a lot of inside run at the moment because they're getting soaked up really well. Taking their chances on their deep passes, but the Ducks defense is really showing up to try and win this game from where it was in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's smart from the Ducks offense as well. Run this Rebels defense side to side.
Keep them on the field.
Absolutely. Tie these guys out. We know a lot of them are playing both ways and, put yourself in a good position to win the game.
You can see Caden out here now. I'm not sure if he's playing safety or he's going to rush an edge, but he's there to do some stuff. Caden's coming off the edge to try and do something. Reverse, trying to shake a defender. Huge run down to the sideline. Really great play adjustment by the Ducks there to try and make something out of a broken play. You can see Lockie, the head coach there, talking through the expectations and what his QB needs to do next.
Again, we see 43 of the Ducks making something out of nothing.
Well, 1 yard gain is not what I expected from the bobbled snap there. So you can see Caden to the wide side of the field is a strong playmaker there from the QB position. Inside zone, you're seeing a flip to the outside, trying to leverage, cut back in towards it, crossing the field back towards the big defenders, running around the outside, doing a loop again. This is a coach's worst nightmare. No one knows what to do, trying to then drive forward and losing yards. It's yeah, that's what coaches just panic and you see them put their hands on their head.
Yeah, a lot of effort there by 36, and we've seen him made some huge plays in this game, but credit to the Rebels defence there to actually swarm and play contain and
keep him bottled up.
Absolutely.
See here, quick little pass the outside, covered, goes back in, too many guys, going to cut back again, trying to loop back to the outside. Oh, no, makes a different decision, loops back around, then tries to run straight upfield after he's realised he's made a mistake, and then he's brought down hard. Yeah, there's a lot of things that coaches panic about. That is probably the top of the list. Seeing a throw here, deep pass over, unable to see the pressure. Throw over the middle of the field. Oh.
An unlucky drop there by 43 for the Ducks.
We're seeing a flag in on that play, though, unsure as to what that will be. Straight off the chest of number 43. Incredibly challenging. This could be an incredibly costly penalty. Let's look at what we're seeing here. No throw yet. Flipping, running with his hips, trying to get it deep. Throws.
Pass interference.
Pass interference on the defence.
It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Bailing the Ducks out of an incredibly tough position and putting them in, again, striking distance with a whole new set of downs.
Huge call there by the officials.
It's you can see the frustration of 43 on the ground there, expecting himself to have made that catch. It's what many coaches would call a sitter. He was uncontested and in the space that he needed to be. Inside zone, big run, swallowed up quickly, but making enough yards that it could be a problem. A late flag from Brian Harwood in the ref position. Personal foul. Face mask. A 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
For the Rebels here, they've just got to find some composure, know that there's still time on the clock. If they can get a stop here, if they can hold out the Ducks, and give themselves every opportunity to be able to drive the field and square this game up.
It is only a one-score game, so I think there's an element that you can get lost about that in the middle of it and forget how close everything is and how tangible you are able to score with very little notice, especially with big playmakers on the Rebels offense. And a cannon of an arm. So, you know, let's see what the Ducks can cook up, and they're able to achieve. Snaps appear to be an issue. Trying to cut up back inside. Not a whole lot happening there.
Number 13 for the Rebels, junior in there on the play, as well as 19, Zach Millard.
The motion challenges are proving to be interesting. I think there's a miscommunication with the centre and the heat, and you know the balls get a little bit slippery and the like, and what they're trying to do, and then looking at how that solves out as they start to rely on timing for jet motions and rocket motions. They're just seeing a different set of challenges. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Strong inside zone, cutting back to the outside, dodge one tackle, gets through, makes it through. He's within 4 yards of the goal line.
Number 98, Harry Watson again.
Third and goal, 5 yards, high snap, handed to the running back, big run on the inside, 1 yard to go.
Touchdown saver there by 94 as well.
Yeah,
the Rebels
incredible
defense.
touchdown save. Seeing a personnel grouping change here. Ducks look like they're going to try and shove for it. We know what's happening. We know the shove. We've seen it before. They were successful. They plan to carry him over.
That is a
2
2-minute
minutes.
warning.
Potentially for the ball game. The Ducks score here.
Looks like.
Unable to see
Might
what's
have been
happened here.
stopped. And the Rebels come out with the ball, number 69, the big fella.
There's a flag on the play.
Offside. Number 1 of the defence. That's a half distance to the goal. Replay fourth
Encroachment.
down.
They have to go back on the field. They get another shot at fourth down. They're half distance now.
Well, if you're the Ducks, I think you just go straight back to the same play.
They'll change. I expect a QB keep. I think that's what will be in here. It's in Lockie's blood. That's what he'd be doing in this situation.
And they're in, number 98.
Touchdown. Nepean Ducks.
Harry Watson again.
No
Huge
flags
play.
on the field.
Might have just sealed this game for his team.
With the kickoff and a large return and the ability to onside kick, they are not yet out of the game. This is where 2 points come into it. You can see here, broken through, huge off the ground at the time he makes contact, where ball position is. 2 point attempt. This is actually critical to their position into the next plays that are going to come from the Rebels. Incredibly hard fought game so far.
Yeah, I think it's been a deserving bowl game for both these teams. Really showing the league why they're here today, giving their all.
It's again the mental errors that are associated with this. All it required was for a defensive lineman or a defensive player to be lined off offside for this to now be the situation they're in. The joy and jubilation of American football closely followed by the impending dread of a missed alignment on that. We're looking at a wildcat position here, not a conventional quarterback. Expecting some cheekiness with the double running backs and the ability for the QB to keep the ball, i.e. being a running back completely. Seeing a motion across that side of the field. High snap, sprint out by the running back, trying to turn the corner, see if he cuts across. Oh, collected an official. Is the official okay? Great sportsmanship by all the boys trying to make sure they're up off the ground, but I do not think that it made it across the line of scrimmage. And that's a no line, no cross call. See the effort in the sprint out here to try and turn the corner. Ducks are going to try and pin them deep within their own end zone.
Yeah, look, if I'm the Ducks, I'm not kicking towards number 13.
Yeah, I think
sure.
that's one of the gimmies that we've seen just consistently across the board here is a lack of desire to kick towards that. You can see the men's team warming up on the sideline there for the Waratah Bowl that'll kick off in about 45 minutes, so 3:30 kickoff. You can see the kickoff team for the Ducks now looking to pin it really deep, avoiding kicking it to 13, kicking it deep back to 41, looking to cut it across the field, sealed him back in. Great run, little bit too much stopping there. Seeing flag in. Paul slow to get up. A minute and a half left.
Yeah, hold, so 10 back, half distance. Yeah, yeah. Holding! Number 1 of the return team.
Damning
That'll be a
position
half
to be in,
distance to the
holding
goal.
on the
First down.
receiving team. First down, 10 yards from the spot of the foul or end of where the ball ended. It's dependent on how we see it. Defensively, you're going to see the Ducks try and change this up, being a bit more of a preventative defence, make sure they're not able to get out and score quickly. I think the big view is to try and make sure that they're not giving up anything too deep. One of the problems you have with this, though, is that it does allow players to run freely. And if you're looking at 13 and he can get out into the field and just make a play with no one there to contest it, open field tackling with him is going to be incredibly tough anyway. That's down. If the player's knee's down at the point of the reception, the play stops where he received the ball. Trips to the field side. It's a start, crossing routes, trying to get one-on-one matchups. Sack. Huge sack.
Huge play there by the Ducks defence. Again, that defensive line, it's not the first time we've spoken about these guys in this half. Really sending pressure and doing a great job of containing Caden.
Unfortunately, the clock's now playing a major factor in their ability to get back in this game with only what appears to be a minute and a half left. Unless they're able to strike now and be able to recover and strike again, it really starts to become a problem. They turn it over on this series. The game is won by the Ducks. Looking at a big play over the top here, one-on-one. Paul trying to get back on it. Huge catch.
Reeled it in.
Reeled it in.
Amazing catch there by number 1, Paul Tong of the Rebels.
Clock stops until the chains are set and then we'll restart immediately. It's one of the examples I meant of giving them a lot of space to go up and make a play when they're playing this soft man coverage. You're not going to see the same type of fit that you need to. Seeing another solo matchup over on the left-hand side here. Deep throw expected over the top. He's making a shot for it, deep downfield, overthrown. Not able to get underneath it.
That's
It's
fatigue
got a
starting setting as
fatigue
well.
setting in. We've got a flag at the line of scrimmage. .20 seconds left to play. Would require a score, an onside and a score. And I don't know whether you can do that in 20 seconds.
Number 71 of the defence.
stranger
Face
things have
mask.
happened.
Bailed out
Time
here
expired
though.
on the
Personal
play.
foul,
There'll
face
be one
mask.
untimed down.
Ball in. Looking deep on these routes, open down the middle of the field, trying to make a throw over to the backside. Nearly intercepted. Number 23 was there to make a play.
And that is the game.
Congratulations to the Nepean Ducks, who are the 2023 Kookaburra Bowl winners, beating the Northern Sydney Rebels 32-22 in an incredible game that was only decided in the final minutes. For everyone staying online, the Waratah Bowl is on next. It will be kicking off at 3:30, and look forward to anyone staying online. I'd like to thank Adam Blue for his contributions. Couldn't have done it without you, mate, so thanks for hanging around.
Thanks, Mitch. Pleasure to be here.
The MVP of the game. Number 88.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well done, Pregame. Now to call on the head coach of the Ducks, Lachlan Bignell.
Yeah, first, I just want to thank the Rebels. I was a hell of a game. Guys stuck it to us and said you should be proud of what he's strong and stuck it to us. And it's what I mean. Coaches coming out every week, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And all the supporters and you guys are great. My industry is sport. To be back in otherwise, shut up and wait for the ground and support out. Thank you very much, everyone.
Don't go too far. So, ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 Kookaburra Bowl champions, the Defeat Ducks.